Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back. I really appreciate you stopping by. Today I've got a bunch of pickups I've been making lately. Um, you're not going to see my ugly mug because I'm just going to jump right in and get started. I got a lot of stuff I want to cover here. So just to start it right off, Robert over at Commenting Collector did a little giveaway on his channel and I was one of the winners. And what I won was this pack of Here's Bo uh, cards with Bo Derek. And it's an unopened pack. It's from 1981, and I think it looks pretty cool. And I'm not going to open it. I'm going to leave it just like this. So thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. He sent that along to me. Like I said, was one of the winners in his contest. He also threw in this Brian Shaw draft pick card, and that was pretty cool. Brian Shaw is a solid NBA player. He was drafted by the Celtics. I think he played for 6 or 7 teams, but he did spend 3 seasons with the Celtics. So I did also pick up a bunch of bargain bin or discount bin or whatever you want to call it. I got these 1982 squirt cards. And so what these were, here's Fernando Valenzuela. So you can see the little punch out there. So they were intended to punch that out and they would like hang that on the soda bottle. So when you go into the market, these would be hanging on the soda bottle, and I guess you could look and see, who the player was and who you wanted to, what soda bottle you wanted to get, I guess. So there's Fernando, Pete Rose, Scrap Iron Phil Garner, Mike Schmidt. That's what the backs look like on those. I also have a bunch of these from 1981 too, which I've showed at one point in time on my channel here. George Hendrick, Andre Dawson, George Forster, Gary Carter, Tom Seaver, Bruce Sutter, Cecil Cooper, George Brett, Alan Trammell, Reggie, Kirk Gibson, Dave Winfield, Carlton Fisk, Ron Guidry, Dennis Leonard, Raleigh Fingers, and Jerry Remy. So that's the squirt cards. I got all those cards for $6, I think. Couldn't pass that up. Picked up a 1951 Sam the Jet Jethro. That is a blue back. I really love these cards, man. They are so cool. Of course, they have the red backs and the blue backs. This one is the blue back, but like I said, it comes in a red back version as well. Sam Jethro, such a great Negro League player. Wasn't able to play in the major leagues, obviously because of segregation. He didn't get to the major leagues until he was like 35 years old, but he was the 1950 National League Rookie of the Year. So that's a really cool card, Sam Jethro. 1963 Topps, Dean Chance. It's a great looking card, man. Love that big old rookie cup there. The back is really nice. And the cartoons are always cool. Dean pitched a 1-hitter last season, it says. So if you're not familiar with Dean Chance, I would recommend that you look him up. He was one of the best pitchers in baseball from 1962 through 1968, and he was the American League Cy Young Award winner in 1964 with a 20-9 record, a 1.65 earned run average, and he had 15 complete games and 11 shutouts in 278 innings. Nowadays, if you can get a pitcher to pitch 200 innings, you'd call him a workhorse. Here's a 1967 Topps manager card of Gil Hodges as the manager of the Washington Senators. Shout out to Hodges, 1455. Brian. Here's a card I found in a box. 1979 Topps Bill Madlock, pretty ordinary card, except for this one is a blank back. Don't see those around a whole heck of a lot. Just some kind of a printing error from top, so they didn't print the back. So I thought that was pretty cool. Picked up this really cool 1987 Canon Rick Sutcliffe autograph, $4 at the card shop. Couldn't pass that up. 1987 Canon set has a Greg Maddux rookie card, which is a very sought after card and a very expensive card as well. And shout out to Alan over at Collecting Maddux, who I believe has that Greg Maddux Canon card. So there's that. That's pretty cool to get a Rick Sutcliffe autograph. Picked up this 1971 Arco Ray Culp. I think I got this for $1. And I have the original proof set for this set, for the Red Sox set. The original proof's a little bit different than this. The photo's the same, that's about it. It doesn't have any of this down here. It doesn't have anything on the back. They're blank backs. But when I get a chance to pick these up at a reasonable price, I do, and $1 to me is a reasonable price that I will take all day long. And what's really cool about this is it's stamped on the back, Jimmy Fund, Boston, Massachusetts. And of course, the Jimmy Fund is the charity for cancer patients at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston. And the Red Sox have been sponsoring that charity for many, many years. In fact, that charity was actually started by the Boston Braves in 1949, I believe. And when the Braves moved out of Boston to Milwaukee in 1953, the Red Sox agreed to take over sponsorship of this charity and have sponsored the Jimmy Fund ever since. And so that was pretty cool to see that little stamp on there. Let's see, what else do we have here? Picked up a bunch of exhibits. So shout out to my friend Scott, Stooks Baseball Cards and Curiosities. He's my go-to guy on exhibits. There's Bob Feller, The Little Professor, Dom DiMaggio, Dick Sisler, Earl Torgelson, and there's two different variations there. You see this one says printed in USA on the bottom. This one says made in USA on the bottom. This one has Braves on the uniform. This one doesn't. And they're also, the tint to them is different as well. You know, when I started collecting these exhibit cards a couple of years ago, I really just set out to collect the Hall of Famers. But I am totally fascinated with the different variations. Some players have 4, 5, 6 different variations, and they just fascinate me, man. I love these variations. So at this point now, I've just been picking up all the exhibits I can find. And sometimes, you know, you can find these real cheap, like $3 or $4 a piece. This Harry Brasheen, just a great photo there. And of course, again, another variation. You can clearly see the differences there on that one. You see his hand here. You can see the full hand. There, it's off to the side. You can see the differences in the tint. The grass down on the bottom. So many differences there. This one says made in USA. They both say made in USA. So that part is similar. But very, very different variations there on the Harry Brasheen. And I really love that photo as well. Bob Lemon. Got two different variations there. This is what they call the dark border here on the bottom, and different tints there as well. So very cool, Bob Lemon. Frank Malzone. Wally Moon. Ron Northerly. Harry Walker. Luke Easter, Grady Hatton, and Billy Gorman. I'm sorry, Billy Goodman, my bad. Another great image as well. So there's the exhibits. Again, Scott Stukes Baseball Cards and Curiosities. He's the resident YouTube expert on these. He has taught me a lot. Whenever I have questions, I always pick his brain. He's sent me some great reference material. And if you want to learn more about exhibits, I would recommend you go on over and check out Scott's channel if you haven't yet. He's got a lot of great videos on exhibits over there. And so picked up this 1965 Topps Jim Hunter rookie card. Needed that one for my post-war Hall of Fame rookie card run that I'm working on. Haven't added to that in quite a while, so I was happy to get the Jim Hunter scratched off the list there, and there's what the back looks like on that. Next up, shout out to my friend Rob over at Cash Cards. He's responsible for this. He influenced me on this one. He had recently picked this up, and I just thought this was a great card, and I really thought I should add it to my collection. 1932 Sanella Margarine. It just says Japanese Baseball Type 2 Sanella at bottom. So actually, PSA goofed up on this one. They misidentified this. This is actually, so it says Type 2 Sanella at bottom. So you can see here, this has Sanella in the middle. And so this is actually a Type 1. So the differences on these is, this is actually card number 9 in the set. So on Type 1, Sanella is located here in the middle. On Type 2, Sanella is down here at the bottom. And up here in this paragraph, there would be a number 9. And Type 3, Sanella is also located on the bottom, and it does not have the number 9 in the paragraph up there. So those are the three types. PSA identified this, and it's not just mislabeled because it's actually on the population report as a Type 2. You can see it says Type 2 Sanella at bottom. So I've already contacted PSA. They're going to fix this for free. I have to send it back to them at their cost. It won't cost me a dime. They're going to fix this. They're going to correct the population report. And it actually makes a difference, because if this is as a Type 2 is a population of 48, and as a Type 1 is only a population of 9. So much fewer Type 1s than Type 2. So that worked out to my benefit. But just a great looking card, man. Just love the image. Now, as you see, there's no name there of any Japanese player. But through some great research at pre-war baseball cards, it's been determined that this player is actually Jiro Kuji, and he was part of the initial class of the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame, and he was a great player. And it's determined that this photo was taken at Tempelhof Field in Berlin, which is actually an airport, but there was also a baseball field on the site that was used by American troops. And in 1932, there's a documented game between some players from Japan and some players that were Americans. And on the back of this, you can see it says trainer there. And this guy, Jiro Kuji, was actually the captain of the Japanese team. And they had an exhibition there in 1932 in Berlin, because baseball was set to become an Olympic sport in 1936. And the 1936 Olympics were going to be in Berlin. And so they had an exhibition there in Germany between some Japanese players and some American players. And it is believed that this image was taken from that 1932 game. And like I said, through that research, it's believed that this player is Jiro Kuji. And he also played on the Japanese team against an American team that was led by Connie Mack, and is famously known as the 1934 American Tour of Japan. And Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Charlie Gehringer, and others were on that American team. And this guy here, Jiro Kuji, was the catcher for the Japanese team during those games. And so I liked that so much. While I was looking at the Sanella cards, I ended up picking up this beautiful 1932 Sanella of Sonia Henne. So Sonia Henne was just a great figure skater and actress as well. Was in quite a few major motion pictures at the time and was a top box office draw. But Sonia Henne is mostly known as a figure skater. She has won more Olympic medals and world figure skating championships than any other female figure skater. And I believe that record still holds true to this day. But look how thin these things are. Like paper. This is like printer paper. It's how thin it is. You can see, you know, it's very, very thin. So the fact that these Sanella cards even lasted so long, I could see somebody must have had this pasted somewhere at one time. But I think this was, I only paid like $7 for this, so it wasn't expensive. But the fact that these cards even lasted 93 years is something, but to be in like nice condition is just really kind of blows my mind. And so I think that's it. That's all I got, guys. Appreciate you watching. Talk to you all soon. Always enjoy the comments. Bye for now.